The 6 psychology tricks that get you hired, even if you're not the best candidate. Hiring is not logical. It is emotional. It is instinctive. It is biased. And most people lose job offers because they do not understand this basic truth. You walk into an interview thinking your resume will speak for itself, that your skills matter most, that the best candidate wins. And then you watch someone less qualified get the offer while you are left wondering what went wrong. Here is what went wrong. You treated hiring like a test of competence when it is actually a test of psychology. The best candidates do not just answer questions well. They trigger specific psychological responses in the interviewer's brain. Responses that make the interviewer feel safe, confident, and eager to say yes. And once you understand these 6 principles, you can land almost any job you want, even ahead of people who look more qualified on paper. This is for you if you are tired of losing opportunities to candidates who somehow charm their way into roles. If you have ever left an interview feeling like you said all the right things but still did not get the offer. If you are done hoping that your skills will eventually be recognized and you are ready to take control of the process instead. This is not for you if you want to rely purely on credentials. If you think showing up prepared is enough. If you believe hiring should be fair and you are waiting for the system to change. I am going to walk you through the exact psychological triggers that shape hiring decisions. You will learn what makes interviewers choose one candidate over another, how to create the impression that gets you fast-tracked, and how to lock in commitment before you even leave the room. No need to pause or take notes. There is a toolkit in the description with all the frameworks, a step-by-step guide, and a 7-day checklist. You can download it and use it later when you are ready to prep for your next interview. Later in this audiobook, I will also give you the 2-minute version. A simple system you can use today to immediately shift how interviewers perceive you. Let's start with the truth most people miss. The problem and the real cause. You have been told that hiring is a meritocracy. That if you work hard, build the right skills, and present yourself well, you will get the job. That the best person wins. But here is what actually happens. 2 candidates walk into the same interview. Same experience level. Similar backgrounds. Both qualified. One gets the offer. The other gets rejected. The difference is not skill. It is not the resume. It is how they made the interviewer feel. Hiring managers tell themselves they are being objective. They create scoring rubrics. They ask standardized questions. They compare notes. And then they choose the person they liked most and reverse engineer the logic afterward. Research shows that interviewers often make a decision within the first 60 to 90 seconds of meeting a candidate. The rest of the conversation is just confirmation. Their brain is scanning for evidence that supports the gut feeling they already have. This is not because interviewers are bad at their jobs. It is because humans are wired to make fast decisions based on pattern recognition and emotional safety. We like people who feel familiar. We trust people who seem confident. We choose people who make our lives easier. And this means you can be brilliant and still lose the offer if you do not understand how to work with human psychology instead of against it. The system is not broken. You are not broken. You just need to stop treating interviews like exams and start treating them like persuasion. Let me show you how. The framework. The framework is called the hiring psychology system. It has 6 parts. Each one is a psychological principle that shapes how interviewers perceive you and make decisions. Part 1 is cognitive ease. Make yourself easy to choose. Part 2 is the halo effect. One strong impression creates a cascade of positive assumptions. Part 3 is likability bias. People hire people they want to work with every day. Part 4 is authority bias. The person who looks like the expert gets treated like the expert. Part 5 is confirmation bias. Interviewers look for evidence that supports their first impression. Part 6 is the commitment principle. Get the interviewer to verbally commit and they will follow through. These 6 principles work together. You use cognitive ease to get in the door. The halo effect amplifies your first impression. Likability keeps you in the running. Authority moves you ahead of equally qualified candidates. Confirmation bias seals the decision. And the commitment principle locks in the offer. If you are driving or working out, just listen. The toolkit has the full breakdown with examples and scripts you can use in your next interview. Now let's go through each principle with specific tools and show you exactly how to use it. Tool 1. The Cognitive Ease Strategy. What it is. Cognitive ease means people choose what feels easy, not what is objectively best, what requires the least mental effort. In hiring, this shows up everywhere. If your resume is hard to scan, you do not get an interview. If your LinkedIn headline is vague, recruiters scroll past. If your answers drag on without a clear point, interviewers mentally check out. The candidate who makes the process feel smooth wins, even if they are less qualified. When to use it? Use this from the very first touchpoint. Your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your email outreach, your interview answers. Every interaction should feel effortless for the other person. Example: 2 candidates apply for the same role. Both have similar experience. Candidate A sends a resume with dense paragraphs, inconsistent formatting, and a cover letter that rambles for 3 pages. Candidate B sends a clean resume with clear sections, bullet points that highlight results, and a 3-sentence cover letter that says exactly why they are a fit. The hiring manager spends 30 seconds on candidate A and moves on. They spend 2 minutes on candidate B and schedule an interview. Same qualifications. Different cognitive load. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1, open your resume. Read it out loud. If you stumble or lose focus, it is too complex. Simplify. Day 2, rewrite your LinkedIn headline to answer one question. What do you do and for whom? Day 3, practice answering the question, tell me about yourself in under 60 seconds. No rambling. Day 4, send a connection request to someone in your target industry. Keep the message under 3 sentences. Day 5, review your last interview. Did you answer questions directly or did you add unnecessary context first? Adjust. Day 6, record yourself answering a common interview question. Watch it back. Cut anything that does not add value. Day 7, audit every document you would send to an employer. Ask yourself, does this feel easy to process? Common failure mode and fix. Failure: you think more information makes you look more qualified. You over-explain. You add extra context to every answer because you want to seem thorough. Fix: start with the answer. Then add one supporting detail. Stop. Let the interviewer ask for more if they want it. If this is useful, subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. It helps more people find these audiobooks. Tool 2, the Halo Effect Accelerator. What it is. The halo effect means if someone likes one thing about you, they start assuming they will like everything else. You show up on time, they assume you are reliable. You communicate clearly, they assume you work clearly. You have a strong online presence, they assume you are successful. This happens fast. Often before you even speak. When to use it? Use this to create a strong first impression that carries through the entire process. Build it before the interview with your online presence. Reinforce it in the first 3 minutes of the conversation. Example: a candidate applies for a marketing role. Before the interview, the hiring manager checks their LinkedIn. The candidate has been posting thoughtful content about brand strategy. Their profile is polished. Their recommendations are strong. The hiring manager walks into the interview already thinking, this person knows what they are doing. During the interview, the candidate gives clear, structured answers. The hiring manager's brain says, see, I was right. They are sharp. The halo effect did half the work. The candidate just had to not mess it up. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1, Google your own name. What shows up? If it is not what you want employers to see, start fixing it. Day 2, update your LinkedIn headline and summary. Make them specific and results-focused. Day 3, post one piece of valuable content related to your field. A lesson learned. A framework you use. A trend you noticed. Day 4, ask a former colleague or manager for a LinkedIn recommendation. Give them a template to make it easy. Day 5, clean up your social media. Remove anything that conflicts with the professional image you want to project. Day 6, prepare a 30-second introduction that highlights your biggest strength and a recent win. Day 7. Practice delivering that introduction with confidence. Record it. Refine it. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You assume your work speaks for itself. You do not build visibility. You show up to interviews without any halo effect in place. Fix. Treat your online presence like part of the interview process. Build credibility before you ever meet the hiring manager. Tool 3. The Likability Calibration. What it is. People hire people they like. Not people with the best resume. Not people with the fanciest answers. People they would actually enjoy working with every day. Likability is not about being fake or overly friendly. It is about matching energy. Respecting time. Showing you can get things done without drama. When to use it. Use this throughout the entire interview. From the first handshake to the final question. Every interaction is a signal. Example. A hiring manager interviews 2 candidates for a project management role. Candidate A is qualified but spends the first 10 minutes complaining about their last manager. They talk about how hard it is to find good jobs. They seem frustrated. The hiring manager thinks, are they going to be talking about me like this in 6 months? Candidate B is equally qualified. They show up with energy. They ask thoughtful questions. They seem genuinely interested in the work. The hiring manager thinks, I could work with this person. Same skills. Different outcome. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Record a practice interview. Watch your body language. Do you seem engaged or defensive? Day 2. In your next conversation, match the other person's tone and pace. See how it changes the dynamic. Day 3. Practice answering a question about a past conflict without blaming anyone. Focus on what you learned. Day 4. Prepare 3 questions to ask in your next interview that show genuine interest in the role. Day 5. Reach out to someone in your network. Have a conversation where you listen more than you talk. Day 6. Review your email and message tone. Do you sound approachable or transactional? Day 7. In your next interaction, focus on making the other person feel heard. Notice how they respond. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You think being honest means venting about past frustrations. You badmouth former employers because you want to seem real. Fix. You can be honest without being negative. Talk about challenges you faced and how you solved them. Not about people who let you down. Tool 4. The Authority Builder. What it is. Authority bias means people trust and choose the person who appears to be the expert. Not always the actual expert. The perceived expert. You see this everywhere. A doctor walks into a room and people listen. Not because they checked credentials. Because the brain is wired to trust authority figures. In hiring, the candidate who looks and sounds like the authority gets fast-tracked. When to use it? Use this to position yourself as the obvious choice. Build authority before the interview with your content and presence. Reinforce it during the interview with how you communicate. Example. 2 candidates interview for a senior role. Both have similar experience. Candidate A answers questions but hedges constantly. They say things like I think and maybe, and I am not sure but. Candidate B answers with clarity. They say here is what I did and the result was and here is how I would approach this. The hiring manager sees candidate B as more experienced even though their backgrounds are nearly identical. Authority is about how you show up. Not just what you have done. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Audit your language. Count how many times you use hedge words like kind of or sort of in one conversation. Cut them. Day 2. Write down 3 accomplishments. Rewrite them in active voice. I led this, not I was part of a team that. Day 3. Practice answering what is your biggest achievement without downplaying it. Day 4. Post or share 1 piece of expert content in your field. A case study. A lesson learned. A framework. Day 5. Prepare a 90-second answer to why should we hire you that showcases ownership and results. Day 6. In your next conversation, use a framework to structure your answer. STAR format works. Situation. Task. Action. Result. Day 7. Record yourself answering a tough interview question. Do you sound confident or apologetic? Adjust. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You downplay your achievements because you do not want to seem arrogant. You credit the team for everything. Fix. You can acknowledge teamwork while still owning your contribution. Say, I led the project that delivered X result, not the team did well. Midpoint Recap. Let's pause and recap what we have covered so far. You are not losing job offers because you lack skills. You are losing them because you do not understand how hiring actually works. Hiring is 80% psychology and 20% credentials. The best candidates trigger specific responses in the interviewer's brain that make saying yes feel easy and right. We have covered 4 principles so far. Cognitive ease. Make the process feel effortless. Simplify your resume. Tighten your answers. Be easy to deal with. The halo effect. Create a strong first impression and let it carry through the rest of the conversation. Build authority online before you ever walk into the room. Likability bias. People hire people they want to work with. Show up with energy. Avoid negativity. Match the interviewer's tone. Authority bias. The person who looks like the expert gets treated like the expert. Speak with confidence. Own your results. Use structure. If you only do one thing from this audiobook, focus on cognitive ease. Clean up your resume. Tighten your answers. Make every interaction feel smooth. That alone will move you ahead of most candidates. Quick recap. And remember, the toolkit is there so you can revisit this without rewinding. Now let's move into the second half. This is where we shift from understanding to execution. The next 2 principles show you how to lock in the decision and turn interviews into offers. Tool 5. The confirmation bias lever. What it is. Confirmation bias means people look for evidence that supports the opinion they already have. If the interviewer thinks you are competent in the first 90 seconds, their brain spends the rest of the conversation looking for proof that they are right. If they think you are uncertain, their brain looks for reasons to confirm that instead. This is why some interviews feel effortless and others feel like you are constantly digging yourself out of a hole. When to use it? Use this to control the narrative from the start. Walk in with confidence. Start strong. Give them a reason to believe you are the right fit and then reinforce it with every answer. Example. A candidate walks into an interview for a leadership role. In the first 2 minutes, they deliver a clear introduction. They highlight a recent win. They make eye contact. They seem calm. The interviewer's brain says, this person has presence. For the rest of the interviewer asks questions looking for confirmation. They listen for leadership examples. They notice confidence. They interpret ambiguous answers in the candidate's favor. The candidate gets the offer not because they were perfect but because the confirmation bias worked in their direction. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1. Write out your strongest professional identity. I am a strategic problem solver who delivers results under pressure. Internalize it. Day 2. Prepare a 60-second opening that reinforces that identity. Use it in every interview. Day 3. Before your next interview, visualize walking in with confidence. See yourself delivering strong answers. Prime your brain. Day 4. Review your LinkedIn profile. Does it reinforce the identity you want interviewers to see? Adjust if needed. Day 5. Practice answering "Tell me about yourself" in a way that immediately positions you as the right fit. Day 6. Prepare 3 examples that showcase your core strengths. Use them to steer the conversation. Day 7. In your next interview, pay attention to the first impression you create. Did the tone shift after your introduction? Adjust for next time. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You walk in unsure of how to position yourself. You let the interviewer control the narrative. You react instead of lead. Fix. Decide in advance what impression you want to create. Then align every answer to reinforce it. Tool 6. The commitment lock. What it is. The commitment principle says people are far more likely to follow through once they have verbally committed to something. And you can use this ethically in interviews. Most candidates leave the room hoping the interviewer felt like they were the right fit. But hope is not a strategy. Instead, you guide the interviewer into making a small verbal commitment. Once they say it out loud, their brain wants to stay consistent with it. When to use it. Use this at the end of every interview. Do not leave without locking in next steps, a clear timeline, and permission to follow up. Example: a candidate finishes a strong interview. Instead of just saying thank you and leaving, they ask, "I have really enjoyed our conversation today. Before I go, could you walk me through the next steps and when I should expect an update?" The interviewer says, "We will make a decision by Friday and reach out early next week." The candidate follows up with, "Perfect. And if I do not hear anything by then, is it okay to give you a polite nudge?" The interviewer says yes. Now the candidate has clarity. They have a timeline. And they have permission to follow up without feeling awkward. This tiny shift removes days of second-guessing and silence. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Write out the exact script you will use to ask for next steps. Practice saying it out loud. Day 2. In your next professional conversation, practice asking for clarity on what happens next. Day 3. After your next interview, use the commitment lock script. Note how the interviewer responds. Day 4. If you have a pending interview process, send a polite follow-up email asking for a timeline update. Use the language from the toolkit. Day 5. Prepare a follow-up template you can send if the timeline gets missed. Keep it short and professional. Day 6. Review past interviews where you did not get clarity. What would you have done differently? Day 7. In your next interview, practice locking in commitment. Walk out knowing exactly what happens next. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You do not want to seem pushy. You leave the interview without asking what happens next. You wait and hope. Fix. Asking for clarity is professional, not pushy. Use the commitment lock every time. Tool 7. The Cognitive Ease Resume Audit. What it is. A simple system to make sure your resume passes the cognitive ease test. If a hiring manager cannot scan it in 30 seconds and understand what you do, you lose. When to use it. Use this every time you update your resume or apply to a new role. How it works. Step 1. Open your resume. Set a timer for 30 seconds. Step 2. Scan it like a hiring manager would. No deep reading. Just look for the key information. Step 3. Ask yourself, can I quickly understand what this person does, what results they have delivered, and why they are a fit? If the answer is no, simplify. Remove unnecessary words. Tighten bullet points. Use numbers and results. Make it scannable. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Run the 30-second audit on your current resume. Day 2. Rewrite your top 3 bullet points to start with action verbs and include measurable results. Day 3. Remove every word that does not add value. Cut filler. Day 4. Send your resume to 3 people. Ask them to scan it for 30 seconds and tell you what they remember. Day 5. Adjust based on feedback. What did they miss? What confused them? Day 6. Format your resume with clear section headers and consistent spacing. Day 7. Run the audit again. If it passes, you are done. If not, repeat. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You try to fit your entire career history on one page. It becomes dense and unreadable. Fix. Your resume is not your autobiography. It is a marketing document. Include what is relevant to the role you want. Tool 8. The Halo Effect LinkedIn Upgrade. What it is. A step-by-step process to build a LinkedIn profile that creates a positive halo effect before you ever speak to a hiring manager. When to use it. Use this now. Your LinkedIn is working for you or against you whether you pay attention to it or not. How it works. Step 1. Update your headline. Make it specific. Helping companies scale revenue through data-driven marketing strategies is better than marketing professional. Step 2. Rewrite your summary. Focus on what you do, who you help, and what results you deliver. Keep it under 150 words. Step 3. Add 3 strong recommendations. Reach out to former managers or colleagues. Give them a template to make it easy. Step 4. Post 1 piece of valuable content per week. A lesson learned. A framework. A case study. Build visibility. Step 5. Engage with content in your industry. Comment thoughtfully. Show you are active and informed. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1. Rewrite your LinkedIn headline using the formula above. Day 2. Update your summary. Focus on value delivered, not job titles held. Day 3. Reach out to one person for a recommendation. Provide a template. Day 4. Post one piece of content. A quick insight from your work. A lesson you learned recently. Day 5. Comment on 3 posts in your industry. Add value. Do not just say great post. Day 6. Review your profile photo. Does it look professional and approachable? Update if needed. Day 7. Run a final check. Does your profile create a strong first impression? Adjust. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You treat LinkedIn like a static resume. You set it up once and forget about it. Fix. Treat it like a living portfolio. Update it regularly. Engage consistently. Build authority over time. Tool 9. The Likability Energy Match. What it is. A simple technique to match the interviewer's energy and tone so you feel aligned instead of out of sync. When to use it. Use this in every interview and professional conversation. How it works. Step 1. Pay attention to how the interviewer communicates. Are they formal or casual? Fast-paced or measured? High energy or calm? Step 2. Mirror their tone without copying them. If they are relaxed, relax. If they are direct, be direct. Step 3. Match their pace. If they speak quickly, pick up your tempo. If they pause and think, slow down. This creates subconscious rapport. The interviewer feels like you are on the same wavelength. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1. In your next conversation, notice the other person's tone and pace. Do not change anything. Just observe. Day 2. Practice matching tone in a low-stakes conversation. Coffee chat. Casual call. See how it feels. Day 3. In a professional setting, consciously match the other person's energy. Notice if the dynamic shifts. Day 4. Record a practice interview. Watch how your tone compares to the interviewer's. Adjust. Day 5. Before your next interview, research the company culture. Formal or startup casual. Adjust your energy accordingly. Day 6. In your next interview, use the energy match technique. Pay attention to how the interviewer responds. Day 7. Reflect. Did matching energy make the conversation feel smoother? Refine your approach. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You come in with one fixed energy level regardless of who you are talking to. You seem out of place. Fix. Flexibility is a skill. Adjust your energy to fit the room without losing authenticity. Tool 10. The Authority Language Shift. What it is. A language audit to remove hedge words and replace them with confident, direct phrasing. When to use it. Use this when preparing for interviews, writing emails, or updating your LinkedIn. How it works. Step 1. Record yourself answering a common interview question. Step 2. Listen back. Count how many times you use words like kind of, sort of, maybe, I think, probably. Step 3. Rewrite your answer without those words. Replace I think I did well with I delivered strong results. Step 4. Practice the new version until it feels natural. 7-day mini experiment. Day 1. Record yourself answering what is your biggest accomplishment. Day 2. Transcribe it. Highlight every hedge word. Day 3. Rewrite the answer in direct, confident language. Day 4. Practice delivering the new version 5 times. Day 5. Apply the same process to another common question. Why should we hire you? Day 6. In your next conversation, pay attention to your language. Catch yourself before you hedge. Day 7. Record yourself again. Compare it to day 1. Notice the difference. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You think hedging makes you seem humble. It actually makes you seem uncertain. Fix. Confidence is not arrogance. Own your results. Speak directly. Tool 11. The Confirmation Bias Frame Setter. What it is. A technique to set the frame in the first 90 seconds so confirmation bias works in your favor. When to use it. Use this at the start of every interview. How it works. Step 1. Prepare a strong 60-second introduction that positions you as the right fit. Step 2. Include your core strength, a recent win, and why you are excited about this role. Step 3. Deliver it with confidence and clarity. Step 4. Let the confirmation bias do the rest. Example script. Thanks for having me. I am a growth strategist who specializes in scaling early-stage companies through data-driven marketing. Most recently, I helped a SaaS startup increase their MRR by 40% in 6 months by rebuilding their funnel from the ground up. I am excited about this role because I see a lot of opportunity to apply the same frameworks here and drive similar results. That is it. Clear, confident, results-focused. Now the interviewer is looking for proof that you can deliver. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Write your 60-second frame setter using the formula above. Day 2. Practice delivering it out loud 5 times. Day 3. Record yourself. Does it sound natural or rehearsed? Adjust. Day 4. Test it in a low-stakes conversation. Coffee chat. Networking call. See how people respond. Day 5. Refine based on feedback. Day 6. Use it in your next real interview. Day 7. Reflect. Did it set a strong tone? Did the rest of the conversation feel easier? Refine. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You walk in and let the interviewer control the framing. You react instead of lead. Fix. Take control of the narrative in the first 90 seconds. Set the frame. Then reinforce it. Tool 12. The Commitment Lock Script. What it is. A simple script you use at the end of every interview to lock in next steps and remove ambiguity. When to use it. Use this at the end of every interview. Every time. The script. I have really enjoyed our conversation today. Before I go, could you walk me through the next steps and when I should expect an update? Wait for their response. Then add. Perfect. And if I do not hear anything by then, is it okay to give you a polite nudge? That is it. You now have clarity, a timeline, and permission to follow up. 7-day mini-experiment. Day 1. Write the script in your own words. Make it feel natural. Day 2. Practice saying it out loud. Day 3. Use it in your next professional conversation. Even if it is not an interview. Get comfortable with the language. Day 4. In your next interview, use the full script. Lock in commitment. Day 5. If you have a pending process, send a follow-up email using similar language. Day 6. Prepare a follow-up template for when timelines get missed. Day 7. Reflect. Did locking in commitment reduce your anxiety? Did it give you more control? Refine. Common failure mode and fix. Failure. You do not want to seem pushy, so you avoid asking for next steps. You leave uncertain. Fix. Clarity is professional. Use the script every time. The 2-minute version. Here is the 2-minute version you can use today. Step 1. Audit your resume. Can someone scan it in 30 seconds and understand what you do? If not, simplify. Step 2. Update your LinkedIn headline. Make it specific. What do you do and for whom? Step 3. Prepare a 60-second introduction. Your core strength. A recent win. Why you are excited about the role. Step 4. In your next interview, match the interviewer's energy. Mirror their tone and pace. Step 5. At the end of the interview, use the commitment lock script. Ask for next steps. Get a timeline. Lock in permission to follow up. That is it. 5 steps. 2 minutes of prep. Immediate shift in how interviewers perceive you. The 7-day Rewire Plan. Day 1. Run the 30-second resume audit. Simplify anything that feels dense or unclear. Time limit, 20 minutes. Day 2. Rewrite your LinkedIn headline and summary. Focus on value delivered, not job titles. Time limit, 30 minutes. Day 3. Write your 60-second frame setter introduction. Practice it 5 times out loud. Time limit, 15 minutes. Day 4. Identify 3 accomplishments. Rewrite them in active voice with measurable results. Remove all hedge words. Time limit, 20 minutes. Day 5. Record yourself answering "Tell me about yourself and why should we hire you?" Watch it back. Cut anything unnecessary. Time limit, 30 minutes. Day 6. Write out the commitment lock script in your own words. Practice saying it until it feels natural. Time limit, 10 minutes. Day 7. Do a full interview simulation. Use everything you have learned. Frame setter. Energy match. Authority language. Commitment lock. Time limit, 45 minutes. This is exactly what the toolkit is for. So keep listening now, then use the checklist later when you are at your desk. Closing summary. Let's recap. Hiring is not a test of skill. It is a test of psychology. The best candidates trigger 6 specific responses in the interviewer's brain. Cognitive ease. Make the process feel effortless. Simplify your resume. Tighten your answers. Be easy to deal with. The halo effect. Create a strong first impression online and in the first 90 seconds of the interview. Let it carry through the rest of the conversation. Likability bias. People hire people they want to work with. Match energy. Avoid negativity. Show you can get things done without drama. Authority bias. The person who looks like the expert gets treated like the expert. Own your results. Speak with confidence. Use structure. Confirmation bias. Interviewers look for evidence that supports their first impression. Set a strong frame early and reinforce it with every answer. The commitment principle. Lock in next steps. Get a timeline. Remove ambiguity. Take control of the process. Your next step is simple. Pick one tool from this audiobook and use it in your next interview. Start with the commitment lock. It is the easiest to implement and it will immediately give you more control. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. And check out the free toolkit in the description so you do not have to take notes. And share this with one friend who keeps losing job offers to less qualified candidates. Once they understand these 6 principles, they will stop hoping their skills get recognized and start making interviewers say yes.